Father, we bless you. Let your name be exalted in the name of Jesus. This is Joseph, part 16. And we're going to take our text from Genesis chapter 40, from verse 9 to 16. In verse 9, the first person to tell Joseph his dream was the chief butler. It was like the chief butler was more desperate for a solution than the chief baker. The first person to tell him his problems was the person to get a solution to the problem. The earlier you open up to those that can help you, the closer the solution to your problems become. Now, this was the content of the butler's dream. In my dream, a wine was before me. In the wine, there are three. In my dreams, a vine was before me. In the vine, there are three branches, and it was as though it budded, and her blossom shot forth, and the cluster thereof brought forth ripe grapes. And Pharaoh's cup was in my hand, and I took the grapes and pressed them into Pharaoh's cup, and I gave the cup into Pharaoh's hand. You can see this in Genesis chapter 40 from verse 9 to 11. When Joseph heard this carefully, he listened to the content of his dream carefully. He then said to him, "This is the interpretation of what you saw. The three branches were 3 days. Yet within 3 days shall Pharaoh lift up thy head and restore thee unto thy place." So when you hear the word lift up thy head, it means promotion or restoration. Now, let's continue with what Joseph was saying. He also said, "And thou shalt deliver Pharaoh's cup into his hand, after the former manner when thou was his butler." Verse 12 to 13. After Joseph had successfully interpreted his dreams, he then told him not to forget him as soon as what he said about his future becomes a reality. That is wisdom. Joseph knew that if the man can open his mouth to tell him his problems, then he also should be bold to tell him about his own problems too. Joseph didn't act like someone who did not have a problem. He knew he won't be in the prison forever. And for him to come out of there, God will definitely use someone for his release. My question for you as you listen to this audio is, where are you? Many of us are in the prison, but because we have been made a leader there, just like Joseph, we think that is the end of the road. The prison here may not be the direct one. You may be doing something and getting some gains from it, but to God, that may be your prison. Anywhere you are, anywhere you stay that is different from the divine location of God for your life is a prison. Don't be blinded by the gain. Be conscious of God. Our gains have a way of blinding our eyes. They make us feel we have arrived in the real sense when we have a lot of ground to cover. Our gains have a way of making us feel we have arrived when we still have a lot of grounds to cover. Don't be deceived by what you have. There is more for you in God. In verse 16, when the chief baker saw that the dream of the chief butler was good, he was energized to speak out his own dreams too. He thought spiritual things are carnally designed. That God is saying well done to your friend doesn't mean he will say the same things to you. That you marry a pastor does not mean you are automatically a pastor. The same way you are not a man of God because your father is one. Spiritual things does not respond to those. Spiritual things does not respond to us carnally because they are spiritually designed. So after Joseph had interpreted the dreams of the chief butler, then the other one also was energized to tell him his dreams, because he felt since the dream of the first one is good, then the interpretation of his own dreams too will be good. That's not always true. Our agenda with God differs. So what Mr. A does and nothing happens, if Mr. B tries it, something terrible may happen. I pray the Lord will give us understanding in the name of Jesus. We must be wise. Anywhere you find yourself that is different from the divine location of God for your life is a prison. And don't keep quiet when you are supposed to talk. If you keep short when you are supposed to say something, you may be enslaving yourself. Joseph was the leader in the prison, but he knew he would not stay in the prison forever. So he interpreted the dream to the chief butler and also told him that when this come to pass, please what? Remember me in the palace. Meaning that he knew he would not stay in the prison forever. So don't be contented with the prison location. No matter the gain you are having wherever you are, if that is not where God has designed for your life, don't be contented. Don't just stay there. Don't be deceived by the gain, but fix your eyes on God. I call you blessed in the name of Jesus.